Surely Shakespeare is wicked. With this line starts the third stanza. In the first stanza, the poet has narrated how children look, how different they are looking. They are looking shabby also. They are in their own world. But most of the faces are rather on the dull side. Their faces don't look bright. Only one child seems to have some kind of dreams. This is about classroom children. In the second stanza, he narrates about the classroom world. And while narrating about it, he gives a picture that there is everything that is positive in the classroom. As far as the walls are concerned, as far as the views inside the classroom is concerned, it radiates positivity. It has good pictures, good photos, good gifts, etc., etc. And it has a map. In the third paragraph, the author is of different nature. He takes a turn. In second stanza, toward the end, the author does mention that the world inside the classroom is not their world. And there means T-H-E-I-R, there means the children. Their world is something that is seen through the window. And what kind of world? A rather dull, foggy, unclear world. Unclear world, narrow passage going into the sky. And what kind of sky? Lead sky. शीशे जैसा. It's far away from capes and rivers and such kind of things. Star worlds, etc. बहुत दूर. उनकी दुनिया अलग है. बच्चों की दुनिया धुंधली है. Now we come to the third stanza, and there the author says, surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map a bad example. Now, when he says that children look through the window and their world is not what is there inside the classroom, but their world is something that is seen through the window, he further says the children don't like this Shakespeare's picture, etc. Surely Shakespeare is wicked, aruchikar. Wicked otherwise means chalak. Wicked means chalak. A wicked fox. Fox is wicked. लोमड़ी जो होती है बड़ी चालाक होती है. A good soul, good man will not be wicked in nature. Here wicked means by the author something which is of no interest, lack of interest. In other words, Shakespeare is wicked means Shakespeare doesn't appeal to the children. Shakespeare, they are least concerned about Shakespeare. It doesn't catch their attention. And at the same time, the map that is there is a bad example. They say this, they feel that, the author says that the map is a bad example because children are not attracted towards it. It doesn't draw their attention. And bad example also because all that is seen there is far, far away from reality for the children. बच्चों के लिए बहुत दूर है. इस मैप में जो बना हुआ है ships, with ships and sun and love. Surely Shakespeare is a wicked, the map a bad example, with ships and suns and love tempting them to steal. To tempt मतलब लालच देना. Don't tempt me. मुझे लालच मत दो. This food is very tempting. ये जो भोजन है ये मुझे अपनी ओर बहुत खींच रहा है, मुझे लालच दे रहा है. Tempting means लालच. To tempt मतलब लालच देना. याद रखेंगे. So with ships, sun and love, tempting them to steal. To steal माने चोरी करना. STEAL, steal. To steal मतलब चोरी करना. Steal, stole, stolen. There is another steel that you know. लोहे का जो बना होता है चमकदार, उसको भी स्टील कहते हैं. उसकी स्पेलिंग है STEEL, स्टील. You are strong like a steel. तुम लोहे जैसा, स्टील जैसा, तुम मजबूत हो. That is a different spelling, STEEL. But here STEAL, to steal माने चोरी करना. So the author says the Shakespeare does not interest them. Map is a bad example because whatever is there in the map, it doesn't appeal to them. Rather, ships which are there in the map shown, sun, the picture which is there of sky with sun, सूर्योदय का जो पिक्चर वहाँ है, सनराइज का पिक्चर जो है, डॉन का जो पिक्चर है वो, और लव के बारे में जो वहाँ, प्रेम के बारे में जो वहाँ कुछ दिख रहा है. दे टेम्प्ट दीज बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स टू स्टील. ये सब बेकार चीज़ें हैं इन बच्चों के लिए, क्योंकि इनको देखकर इन बच्चों के मन में चोरी करने का लालच हो रहा है. इट टेम्प्ट देम टू स्टील. राइट. विथ शिप्स एंड सन्स एंड लव, tempting them to steal, for lives that slightly turn in their crammed holes. For means because. For means because. Here for means because. ऐसा चोरी करने का लालच क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि. Because. You see, there is a hyphen given. To steal के बाद hyphen गया. Because the meaning is not complete. So the author says, continue with the next line, for life that slyly turn. Slyly मतलब चुपके से. In a sly. He told me in a sly. For lives मतलब जीवन. ये लोग जो जी रहे थे, जिंदगी जी रहे थे, turn in their crammed hole. Crammed मतलब बहुत संकुचित, बहुत छोटा. Hole means छेद. Hole means छेद. For lives that slyly turn in their crammed hole. उनका जो जीवन, जो इस तंगी वाले, crammed means तंगी वाले, जो घरों में, झुग्गी झोपड़ियों में, होल मीन्स छेद. छेद का अर्थ यहाँ पर सिंबॉलिक है. जो छोटे छोटे जो पिजन जैसे, पिंजरे जैसे जो छोटे छोटे घर बने हुए हैं, वहाँ पर इनका जीवन गुजर जाता है. फ्रॉम फॉग टू एंडलेस नाइट. अर्ली मॉर्निंग से रात तक. एंडलेस नाइट, अनंत रात्रि. एंडलेस नाइट, एक बार जब सोते हैं तो अनंत रात जो है उनको अनंत लगती है. नेवर एंडिंग. अनंत मीन्स नेवर एंडिंग. एंडलेस मीन्स नेवर एंडिंग. सो विथ शिप्स एंड सन एंड लव, टेम्पटिंग देम टू स्टील. वाई? फॉर lives that slyly turn in these crammed holes and living that way. ऐसे जो छोटी छोटी तंगी जगहों में जो रह रहे हैं, ऐसा जो जीवन जी रहे हैं, उसके कारण इनको लोभ हो रहा है, लोभ होता है, लालच होता है चोरी करने का. फ्रॉम फॉग टू एंडलेस नाइट, और ऐसी लंबी लंबी रातें जो समाप्त ही नहीं होती। ऑन देयर स्लैग हीप दीज चिल्ड्रन, ऑन देयर स्लैग हीप, स्लैग मीन्स क्या? कचरा। कचरा नहीं, स्लैग मतलब बेकार की जो चीज़ें हैं। हीप माने झुंड, कुछ भी चीज़ें। स्लैग मतलब आप देखते हो वेस्ट। तो इन चीज़ों पर ये बच्चे सो जाते हैं, घर जाते हैं, उनकी दुनिया तो यही है। देयर वर्ल्ड इज नॉट वॉट इज सीन इन दिस मैप, देयर वर्ल्ड इज नॉट वॉट इज सीन ऑन दीज वॉल्स, देयर वर्ल्ड इज सीन थ्रू द विंडो, एंड देन वॉट इज सीन, that also is told by the writer, and then writer or the poet further says that these children, poor children, they have endless nights, they sleep on heaps of slags, they sleep in a dingy small places, crammed places. Their life is something like that. And it says further, these children wear skins. To wear माने पहनना, WEAR, wear. I am wearing a jacket. मैं एक जैकेट पहना हूँ। Wear your specs, अपना चश्मा पहनो। Wear your socks, अपना मोजा पहनो। तो यहाँ wear मतलब wear, these children wear skins, चमड़ी, स्किन माने चमड़ी। ये कैसी चमड़ी पहने हुए हैं, अर्थात इनकी चमड़ी कैसी है? peeped through by bones. to peep मतलब झांकना, PEEP, peep माने झांकना। just open the window and peep, थोड़ा सा दरवाज़ा खोलो, खिड़की खोलो और झांको। डोंट पीप इनटू माय आंसर, मेरे उत्तर को मत झांको। टू पीप मीन्स झांकना, किसी चीज को देखने की कोशिश करना। पीपिंग थ्रू द विंडो। सो हियर व्हाट डज द ऑथर से? द ऑथर सेज दैट दीज चिल्ड्रन wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel. Spectacle माने चश्मा। As I said earlier, specs, I use the word specs, SPECS. Specs माने चश्मा. But the full form of specs is spectacle. Note the spelling, SPECTACLE, spectacle. और हम spectacles के साथ pair of spectacles बोलते हैं, क्योंकि चश्मा जोड़ी में रहता है, पेयर में रहता है, pair of spectacles. Now what kind of life these people are leading according to author? They are living in squalor, they are living in a very shabby state, sleeping over heap of slag, waste, in crammed holes. तंग वाले रास्तों में, तंग वाले घरों में सोते हैं, रातें उनकी लंबी हो जाती हैं। स्लैग हीप, एंड उनका जो शरीर है, दे वियर स्किन, ऐसी चमड़ी है जिसमें से मानो हड्डी झांक रही हो। इट्स अ वेरी पैथेटिक नरेशन ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ लाइफ दैट पीपल, दैट दीज स्टूडेंट्स आर लीडिंग इन इंटीरियर्स, स्लम एरिया। स्लम एरिया के बच्चों की लाइफ के बारे में कहानी बताते हुए, डिस्क्राइब करते हुए ऑथर से, दे आर लीडिंग ए वेरी पैथेटिक लाइफ, बड़ी दयनीय स्थिति है इनकी। उनकी जो चमड़ी है, ऐसी चमड़ी पहने हुए हैं मानो उसमें से हड्डियां झांक रही हैं। बोन्स आर पीपिंग थ्रू, एंड जो चश्मा भी पहने हुए, वो लोग सब चश्मा पहन रहे हैं, बच्चे हैं, चश्मा पहनना पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि वो द काइंड ऑफ लाइफ दे आर लीडिंग, दे आर लूजिंग देयर आई साइट, दे आर लिविंग इन सेमी डार्क रूम्स, देयर क्लासरूम कंडीशन इज ऑल्सो नॉट गुड इनफ, द लाइट इज नॉट मच। एक dim light comes into the classrooms. Light is dim into their classroom. Sunlight also comes, but it's very dim. एक अंधकार में थोड़ा सा माहौल वहाँ का रहता है और इसलिए वो चश्मा पहनते हैं। लेकिन वो चश्मा भी किसका? लोहे का बना हुआ, स्टील का। They are not wearing very light specs like the way we wear, common people. These days, it's very common to wear light specs. They are wearing specs of steel. Where skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass. Mend करना मतलब बनाया गया, सुधारा गया, ठीक किया गया। To mend, mend yourself, अपने को ठीक करो, अपने को सुधारो। You must mend the wrongs that you have done. तुमने जो गलत किया है उसको सुधारो। To mend. So mended glass, the specs that they are wearing is made of heavy iron, and glasses which are repaired, mended, जो टूटे फूटे हैं उन ग्लास को बनाया गया है like bottle bits on stones. Like bottle bits on stone. Bits means टुकड़े छोटे छोटे। बोतल के, कांच की शीशी की बोतलों के टुकड़ों को मानो पत्थर जैसा जो है उससे बनाया गया है। Look at the condition. I mean, author is describing in all detail about the dire, poor condition that these children are living, because, and most of them are living like that. Why? Because the children which is mentioned here are studying in a slum school, that too elementary school, and being slum school, it is bound to have children who mostly come from very poor families. So while describing this, in this stanza, author is saying they wear glasses which are somewhat broken bits, tukde, broken glass bottles. Over the stone, they are rubbed off, given shape, and then put in the spectacles, like bottle bits on stone. Now, he says, all of their time and space, all of their time and space are foggy slums. उनका जो पूरा समय है वो, और उनका जो पूरा क्षेत्र है, काम करने का क्षेत्र, दायरा, वो या तो स्लम है और ऐसा स्लम जो फॉगी है, जहाँ पे धुंधलापन है। और धुंधलापन मतलब जहाँ कुछ चीज़ स्पष्ट नहीं है। It's that word fog is used beautifully here. Foggy means not clear. What is not clear? Even the surrounding is not clear. Their environment is not clear. And at the same time, their future is not clear. Both are foggy. So the author beautifully narrates and draws parallel in the environment as well as in their life. And while doing so, he says, all of their time and space are foggy slums. ये जो समय है और जो स्पेस है, स्पेस मतलब जो जगह है, काम करने का दायरा है, जीवन जीने का दायरा है, it doesn't have any space. Further, in this stanza, so blot their maps. So blot their map. Blot करना मतलब धब्बा लगा देना, पूरा उसको समाप्त कर देना, पूरा छिपा देना. Blot their maps. और blot माने धब्बा भी. Do not do anything that brings blot to your name. Do not do anything that brings blot to your name. ऐसा कुछ मत करो जिससे आपके नाम पर धब्बा लगे. It is a blot to the nation what has been done by certain criminals. It's a blot to the nation. देश के लिए धब्बा है. कुछ लोगों के द्वारा कुछ ऐसे कार्य किए गए हैं जो देश के लिए धब्बा हैं. So blot means धब्बा. बड़ा धब्बा. The author says that with this kind of life that I have narrated, blot their maps, उनके नक्शे को पूरा भर दो, उनके नक्शे को पूरा छुपा दो. With slums as big as doom, और विशाल स्लम का दृश्य उसमें दिखा दो. As big as doom. Doom means what? प्रलय. Doom मतलब प्रलय. प्रलयकारी दृश्य उसमें दिखा दो. As big as doom. Show that. उस नक्शे में जो ships दिख रहा है, the map that shows the ship, the map that shows the love, the map that shows the Tyrolese Valley and such other beautiful things, blot it, cover it up and fill it with a big प्रलय scene. एक प्रलय का दृश्य उसमें दिखा दो जिसमें केवल झुग्गी झोपड़ियां ही हों, ऐसे स्लम ही हों. In the stanza that we just completed, the author, the writer, the poet is expressing his anguish, his unhappiness, his displeasure in the way society is divided. While talking about the people, the children living in the slum area, he profusely expresses his anger also. And in the process he mentions that put the blot on the map that is there in the classroom out here. And instead, एक प्रलय, doom, प्रलय जैसा दृश्य वहाँ दिखा दो झोपड़ियों का. Not only that, he doesn't stop here. The author doesn't stop here. In the fourth and the last part of this poem, author has something more to say. He seems more aggressive. The author seems more violent. And he says, unless governor, inspector, visitor, unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window and these windows that shut upon their lives. I repeat once again, unless मतलब जब तक, unless मतलब जब तक, unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window and these windows, these very windows that shut upon their lives like catacomb. Catacomb is what? Catacomb is something like जो तहखाना होता है, जो कब्र होती है, तहखाने में जो कब्र होती है उसे कैटोकॉम बोलते हैं. So he says कि गवर्नर, निरीक्षक, इंस्पेक्टर, विजिटर्स यानी आगंतुक, आने वाले लोग, जब तक ये मानचित्र उनकी खिड़की पर नहीं बनता और वे खिड़कियां जिन्होंने इनके जीवन को कब्रों के तहखाने की भांति कैद करके रखा है, कब्रों के तहखाने की भांति इनके जीवन को कैद करके रखा है, that shut upon their lives like catacomb. इनके मतलब बच्चों के, इस दर्जे के, इस वर्ग के बच्चों के जिनके बारे में मैं चर्चा कर रहा हूँ. तो जब तक नहीं दिख रहा है, जब तक इनका विंडो नहीं बदला जा रहा है, तब तक मैं आंदोलित होते रहूँगा. He says कि इन गवर्नरों का, निरीक्षकों का, इन आगंतुकों का, जब तक ये मानचित्र उनके खिड़की पर नहीं बनता. कौन सा मानचित्र? इन बच्चों के लिए जिस मानचित्र का जिक्र किया गया है, प्रलय वाला मानचित्र, और वे खिड़कियां जिन्होंने उनके जीवन को कब्रों के तहखाने में की भांति कैद करके रखा है, और वो जो विंडो हैं, वो विंडो जिसमें एक तरीके से उनको कैद कर लिया है, सील्ड इन है, ये खिड़कियां जब तक नहीं टूटती, नष्ट नहीं हो जाती, टूट कर खुल नहीं जाती, नगर को तोड़ दो। Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut down their lives like catacomb break. जब तक ये टूट नहीं जाती, जब तक ये खिड़कियां नष्ट नहीं हो जाती, वो खिड़कियां जिसके माध्यम से आपने इनको कैद करके रखा है, वो खिड़कियां जिसमें सब अंधकार में दिखाई देता है, सकरी गलियां दिखती हैं, वो खिड़कियां जिसमें फॉगी हैं, ऐसी खिड़कियों को यदि वो तब तक तोड़ो जब तक वो टूट के खुल नहीं जाती। break open till they break the town. Beautiful line. This is probably the most important line. Break open till they break the town. तोड़ो, तब तक तोड़ते रहो जब तक कि पूरा नगर ना टूट जाए। और नगर से टूटने का तात्पर्य यह है कि तब तक जब तक कि ऐसा दृश्य जो सुहावना है, जो दिखाई दे रहा है, सुहावना है इन लोगों के लिए, जब तक वो समाप्त न हो जाएगा। और बच्चों की हरे भरे खेत, बच्चों को ये खेत दिखाई न दे जाए, तब तक इसको तोड़ते रहो, इन खिड़कियों को तोड़ डालो। और वो खिड़कियां जो हैं, वो खिड़कियों का अर्थ क्लासरूम के उस विंडो से नहीं है। उस विंडो के बारे में कहते हुए ऑथर इज ट्राइंग टू से दैट वाइडन द होराइजन ऑफ दीज चिल्ड्रन। इन लोगों की सोच जो है उसको बढ़ाओ। जब तक, नाउ आई रिपीट दिस लाइन अगेन, unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their life like catacomb break upon till they break the town. And show the children to green fields, show the children and make their world run azure of gold sands. Azure means what? Azure means एक नीला समुद्र, नीला रंग, azure, समुद्र का नीला रंग उनको दिखाओ, खेतों की हरियाली उनको दिखाओ। जब तक ये नहीं होगा तब तक इन खिड़कियों को तोड़ते रहो, टूटने दो। ब्रेक ओपन, इनको टूटने दो, तोड़ते जाओ। यानी उनकी सोच के दायरे को तोड़ो और बढ़ाओ। इन लोगों की जो स्लम में रहने वालों की जो सोच हो गई है, स्लम में रहने वाले बच्चों की जो सोच हो गई है, उस सोच के दायरे को बढ़ाओ, उस सोच को जरा सा अपने होराइजन में उसको बढ़ाओ। दैट इज व्हाट द ऑथर इज ट्राइंग टू से। सोच में कमी क्यों? एक कारण तो क्योंकि उनका जीवन ही वैसा रहा है। But if they are coming to the classroom, if they are coming to a school, so he is appealing upon the teaching faculty that teach them that the world could be better than what they have been undergoing all these years. Break that barrier in their mind. He is appealing to the people. Break that barrier in their mind. And specifically, he is appealing to the teachers, because this story, this poem is about children inside a classroom. वो बच्चों को हरे भरे खेत दिखाओ, उनके संसार में सुनहरी रेत हो, नीले समुद्र हो, और साथ ही साथ जीव जो है उनकी किताबों में दौड़े, खुलकर दौड़े। अभी जो धीरे 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 मरमर करते हैं, धीरे धीरे बोलते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, ऐसा नहीं। It must run in that white and green लीव्स ऑफ द बुक। जो किताबों के सफ़ेद और हरे रंग के जो पन्ने हैं, उसको वो खुलें और उनकी जो जीभ है, उनकी जो आवाज़ है, जीभ के माध्यम से किताबों में तेजी से दौड़े। रन एजर ऑन गोल्ड सैंड एंड लेट देयर टंग, उनके जीभ को दौड़ने दो। कहाँ? run naked into the books which are white and green leaves open, जिसके पन्ने, लीव मतलब देखिए यहाँ क्या है, LEAVES, लीव्स। लीव्स मीन्स व्हाट? लीव्स मतलब पन्ने, एक वचन इसका है लीफ, LEAF, लीफ। लीव और लीव्स बहुवचन है। टू लीव माने छोड़ना, टू लीव माने छोड़ना, और लीव्स माने छुट्टी भी, ऑल्सो छुट्टी भी। लीव, मुझे 2 दिन की लीव चाहिए, छुट्टी चाहिए। छोड़ना और छुट्टी, उसकी स्पेलिंग एक है। और ऐसे ही लीव्स का दूसरा मीनिंग भी है। एक शब्द है लीफ, LEAF, लीफ यानी पत्ता। लीफ का मतलब होता है पत्ता, और पत्ते का बहुवचन है लीव्स। द लीव्स ऑफ दिस ट्री आर ब्यूटिफुल, इस पेड़ के पत्ते बड़े सुंदर हैं। LEAVES, लीव्स, राइट? नाउ LEAF, लीफ ऑफ ए पेज, मीन्स व्हाट? लीफ ऑफ ए बुक, नॉट ए पेज, लीफ ऑफ ए बुक। वन लीफ मतलब किताब का एक पन्ने को लीफ कहते हैं, एक पन्ना। एक पन्ने में कितने पेज होते हैं? 2 पेज होते हैं। सो आई रिपीट, ए लीफ हैज 2 पेजेस इन ए बुक। एनी लीफ हैज 2 पेजेस on both sides, 2 pages, and 2 pages combined together on a single this thing is called a leaf, right? Here we come back to the point. The author says कि इतना तोड़ो खिड़की को, उनकी जो खिड़की को इतना तोड़ो, उनकी दिमाग की खिड़की इतना खोलो। Open their windows of the mind, so much so till the time that they start loving reading the books. Show them the green field. Show them make the world run. Show them the sea water which is blue, gold sand, etc. And let their tongue run naked. Naked means बिना किसी बाधा के खुले, बिना किसी अवरोध के, बिना किसी दिक्कत के वे पढ़ें उन पन्नों को। रन नेकेड इनटू बुक्स विच आर वाइट एंड ग्रीन लीव्स ओपन, जिसके पन्ने सफ़ेद हरे हों, उसको वो बिना किसी बाधा के पढ़ सकें। उनका दिमाग इतना खोलें, खिड़कियाँ इतनी तोड़ें, दिमाग की जो खिड़की जो बंद है, जो केवल नैरो लेन को देख रही है। एंड देन द लास्ट लाइन इट सेज, which is the key to the line, history is theirs whose language is the sun. History is theirs whose language is the sun. इतिहास उनका होता है जिनकी भाषा में सूर्य होता है। History is theirs whose language is the sun, जिनकी भाषा सूर्य है। अर्थात सूर्य से यहाँ अर्थ है ज्ञान, knowledge. So the history belongs to those who have knowledge. History belongs to those who are good readers, those who read, those who love books, those who have passion for learning. They make history. This is what is the message. इतिहास वही बनाते हैं जो लोग अच्छा अध्ययन करते हैं. This is the key line of the whole poem. History theirs whose language is the sun. So in this last stanza, we just have about 2 or 3 words which were on the tougher side. One was catacomb, that means कब्र, और वो भी तहखाने में. दूसरा azure means a blue color, and naked means nanga, bare, without it. Run naked into the books. बिना किसी बाधा के वह किताब में जाए, कोई इसे रोके ना. बिना किसी बाधा से अर्थात कोई इसे रोके ना. He should enjoy reading it. He should enjoy, and for that What does author suggest? Author says that children must be taken to the green field, must be taken to the golden sand, must be taken to the blue water, and so on and so forth. And with this poem comes to an end. That's a beautiful poem by Spencer. After having done the lesson, the poem, and assuming that you all have understood the poem well, you all have understood the theme behind this poem well, the message behind this poem well, let us come to few questions related to this poem and some answers in brief to those poems. The first question that we have is, the walls of the classrooms are decorated with Shakespeare and a map and whatnot. Walls of the classroom are decorated. How do these contrast with the world of children? How do these contrast with the real world of the children? कक्षा की जो दीवारें हैं वो सजी हुई हैं, ये कैसे बच्चों की वास्तविक दुनिया से ये अलग दृश्य है? The answer is right in the first stanza, number 1. The walls are decorated with what the children don't have. The walls are such which is beyond the reach of children. So what you need to write is, firstly, Shakespeare, ships, maps are there. Number 2, these things speak of literature, the beautiful world, and love. However, a careful look at the real world of the children is in contrast. However, a real look is in contrast. How is it in contrast? The real world is dim, foggy. Secondly, children are living very tough life, living in shanty places, small holes, sleeping on slabs, and that narration that author gives about the kind of life that children are leading, the kind of hair they have, the shabby look they have, the narrow world that they see. You have to describe that in this. So, contrast करना मतलब तुलना करना, विरोध, दोनों के बीच में जो विरोध है उसको बताना. The second question, what does the poet want? What does the poet want of the children of slum? How can their lives be made to change? I repeat, what does the poet want of the children of slum? वो स्लम के बच्चों का क्या चाहता है? How can their lives be changed, made to change? उनका जीवन कैसे बदल सकता है? So, obviously, the answer is simple. You have to write about poet wanting better life for children. So, first thing you need to speak that his poet is unhappy with the kind of life that children are leading. You have to narrate that life, the kind of life that the children are leading. Give a brief description. Secondly, from this stanza, we can make out that Poet is unhappy with the kind of life that children are leading, and he wants certain changes. He wants to see change in terms of improvement. And so in order to improve their life, what does he want? He wants to break open the cities, break the cities. तोड़ देना चाहता है सब. That is the first thing. Second, by doing so, the poet is talking about opening their horizon, taking them to different places. Green field, blue water sea, golden sand, etc. And by doing so, opening their mental window. He is wanting basically to open their mental window, open their mind. जो दिमाग की जो खिड़कियां हैं उसको खोलने के लिए वो बात कर रहा है. और कैसे खोलना है इसके लिए वो रास्ते बता रहा है. He is asking the people, those who are connected with children, particularly the teachers, to teach them in such a way that it interests them and that they really turn out to be improving. So this is what does the poet want of children of slum? How can their lives be made to change? Their lives, as per the poet, can be changed by taking them to different world, taking them to the world physically, what is shown in the map, the world of literature, the blue water, and so on and so forth. Disparity, he says that disparity must be removed. जो समाज में जो अंतर है, the difference in the level of different sections of society has to be narrowed down, has to be brought to an end. That is what is the final thing that author says. That is to be done. The wall that is separating the different communities, the haves and the have-nots, that wall has to be broken. The third question. What is the message? What is the message that the poet wants to give through the lines? What is the message that the poet wants to give through the lines, through these lines? Or for that matter, you can say, what is the theme of the poem? Theme kya hai? The message or the theme of the poem is about the theme is social inequality, injustice. The theme is that the poor don't have access to a normal human life. On the other hand, the governor, the rich, and such people he is talking about, they have everything. And so the message is that this gap has to be narrowed down. The wall that separates these two has to be narrowed down. And the author says, third point, that the most important way to break this inequality in society, to break this social injustice is to acquire knowledge. Because history shows very clearly that it belongs to those who have knowledge. इतिहास उन्हीं का होता है जिनका ज्ञान है. So the third point, the third message is that we all must, as a student, must study. Or even as grown up, we must keep learning. We must keep growing our knowledge, our jnana. Surya means knowledge. author is using simile, Surya, with knowledge. And so this is something very important message that he gives. That society will always maltreat, ill-treat the people who are illiterate. So society will always look down upon the people who are living in poverty. The society will not treat them properly. Those who are not building their knowledge, that means those who are not working hard to gain knowledge, so must gain, persevere, have the tenacity of purpose to gain knowledge. The fourth question, what is the real world for the slum children and what is not? What is the real world for the slum children? The real world is beautifully described in the second stanza, third stanza by the poet, wherein he says that for them the world is what they see through the window outside, with narrow lanes, foggy cloud, foggy sky, dhundla, not clear. Then further author mentions about the kind of life they live, in the kind of hole they are living, the slag that they sleep on, and few more things. That is their real world. The tough life is their real world. And what is not their real world? What is not their world? The world of wealth. The world that attracts people. The world that is so pleasant otherwise is not their world. The world of knowledge is far away from them. The world of beauty is far away from them. The world of love is far away from them. They have always been open to criticism. They have always been condemned. Word of appreciation, word of love, they don't come to them. Nobody talks to them in a very friendly way, in a loving way, in a caring way. And so this kind of world is not their world. So you have to take out the extract from the poem, relevant extract, and explain it here. The last question, the fifth and the last question is, history is there whose language is the sun. History is theirs, history theirs whose language is the sun. Means what? इतिहास इनका होता है जिनकी भाषा सूरज है, सूरज से अर्थ ज्ञान है. Explain this. How do you write? You can start saying that though this is the last line of the poem, this is the most important line in terms of the message that the author wants to give. Starting with the classroom scene and ending up with knowledge, the author narrates the circumstances that differentiates, that creates differences between the rich and the poor. And the main reason he cites probably for this difference is lack of knowledge, lack of jnana. Through the classroom scene, he tells that they don't love the things which are there inside in their class walls. They have to love. In order to make them love these things, the people have to take these children to the places of interest. The people have to help in generating interest in them, interest towards studies, love towards studies, love towards gaining knowledge. So an environment has to be created wherein they love. They take interest. Now the walls have those themes which should emanate positives. But the kind of living that they have, where they live in dingy holes, they live in narrow lanes, they live in a world where hate is the common, that also needs to be changed, says the author. And so he says that the best way for narrowing down the social inequality, the best way for narrowing down the hatred toward the downtrodden, the best way to bring harmony in society, oneness in society, equality in society, is that we all must work hard for gaining knowledge. ज्ञान प्राप्त करने के लिए हमें अच्छा श्रम करना चाहिए, और यदि हम ऐसा करते हैं तब समाज में हम अच्छे दर्जे के माने जाएंगे, समाज में समान दर्जे से, समान नज़रिए से देखे जाएंगे, और एट द सेम टाइम जो सामाजिक अन्याय है वह भी दूर होगा. So we must acquire knowledge. That is what is the message given by the author in this poem. And with that, this exercise of question answer is over. We have already done a lot of sentences, a lot of words which have come in this poem while talking about those stanzas itself. And also we had many sentences formed out of those words.